Our Aunt Ruth was a dress designer in Michigan, in Detroit in particular. She had a shop from 1947 on Livernois, which at that time was the Avenue of Fashion. And she moved in 1963 to 649 Van Dyke in Detroit, right at the edge of Jefferson. And it's right near the
It's near Indian Village.
Indian Village district, yes. And she opened a Paris-like couture shop.
And her signature was pink, her signature color. And she brightened when she moved into the salon on Van Dyke. It was all dark and she lightened it all up with the light white and pink.
It was a very pastel pink, and she did it because she felt that all clothes looked better with that light pink as a background.
Yeah. And she was available for clothing for wives of the auto industry executives, for celebrities, like she did some things for Dinah Shore. I know she did one thing at least for Loretta Young. And she dressed our own Miss America, Pam Eldred, for, I can't remember what part of her reign, but she did a beautiful gown for her, and did a lot of charity work in the area. So, and she just was well renowned in the area, and did beautiful clothing, as you'll see. And really, her hallmark was the workmanship in the clothing. They started out doing sketches of every design, and so there are quite a number of them here. And it's hard to really tell, but you get a sense of what her design style was. It was very tailored, and yet it had the flair of fun, and her hallmark really was her fabrics. And I don't know if I said this before, but so much of what she did was just as beautiful on the inside as it was on the outside. And there is an article here that says that her clothes are so beautiful that you could wear them inside out, which is just so precious. It's just a great line. So,
and there was always a femininity, I believe, about everything that she designed, whether it was a tailor, dark gray, woolen suit, didn't matter. You had a sense of femininity.
And her clothes, from the sketches, you can see that they are really forward-thinking, timeless items that can be worn now as well as back in the 50s and the 60s. And the clothes had a dramatic flair.
Yeah.
But look at how lovely the silhouette, and just beautiful fabrics, beautiful fabrics.
And we certainly read in here things about the importance of how many inches the hemline was from the floor and how close to your knee. And last year it was this way, but this year it's this way. And times certainly have.
And she had a strong opinion.
Yes. Yeah.
She was one of the first recipients of what they called their Fig Leaf Award. In fact, she was in the first group of recipients, which were Ruth Joyce, Mary Morgan, and Virginia Sink. I don't know who Virginia Sink is, but I know who Mary Morgan was. And she was the first recipient of that award from the fashion group. And over the years, she was an executive in the fashion group also. Oh, here's Hats for Hearts. This was a charity function that was done every year. These pictures happen to be from 1958, and it was a fundraiser for the Heart Fund, and it all sold hats. Well, she did hats and clothing for 3 little models, and those went like crazy. Everybody loved them, and the middle child in this picture is my youngest sister, which is fun. And so that was a charity fundraiser. And you'll see as we go through the books, there's another year where these 3 models are in it too, these 3 little girls, and they're all under 5 years old. And then there's another one where 2 of our cousins, who were appropriately aged, were in it too.
And
won't open?
No.
Our mothers, though, were involved with all of her fashion shows, and they did all the cooking for the press and for the guests, and introduced them to the Lebanese cooking because they made all the appetizers in small, the kibbe, the grape leaves, all of those in very appetizer size, and everyone loved it.
And it was before Middle Eastern food was out
Yes.
there for the world to know.
At that time, there really was only one Middle Eastern restaurant. It was called The Chic, and it was downtown.
After she passed away, this building ultimately became the Van Dyke Place restaurant, which has since closed also. And it's unfortunately in some disrepair right now, but
It is amazing. The Ruth Joyce name in cement is still
It's still there.
still
Oh,
up
is
there.
it?